So today I'm going to be talking about the Reebok Floatride Energy. I think this is one of the best daily trainers you can buy, never mind the best value. Hello, so welcome to my second shoe review. So these are what I'm going to be talking about, Reebok Floatride Energy. But these arrived in the post yesterday. These are very fancy, new Nike box. And what are they? They are a pair of the Dragonfly spikes. I'm not really a spiked person. I'm a very amateur runner. I've not got a background in track. And it's really easy to get all excited about things like this and the really fancy, exciting new tech. Hey, look, my Alpha Flies, my Vapor Flies, I haven't got the Endorphin Pro, I'd like some. But all these really fancy shoes, really easy to get excited about those. But 80% of your miles are done in your likes of your Reeboks, your Pegasus, your heavier daily trainers. I think it's really easy to overlook what is a base part of your training, and they're not as sexy as the fancy expensive spikes, but they're probably more important, and it's good to get something that you can get comfortable in and enjoy, and I think these are excellent for that. So what I'm going to do is take you through what they're like to have, why I think they're brilliant as a whole, and give you some comparisons with your Boston and your Pegasus, because these are the ones that I really know. I've also got a pair of Asics I can compare with those, but I think they really do speak for themselves. So what are they? What are they like? These are Reebok's daily trainer. This is the Floatride range, is what's really put Reebok back on the map after years being involved. They've then had a few years where they've been kind of nowhere. This really brings them back. So this is my fifth pair of these. I've got here my fourth pair of these. So how do they do? How do they hold up? Well, my first pair did 475 miles. My second pair 455, I should say. I expect 400 miles out of a pair of shoes. If I get 400, I'm doing well. Less than 400, not thrilled. Less than 350, that's terrible. More than 450, really quite unusual. So 475, 455, 378, 422. So they're lasting, and they're lasting well. This is good miles for me. These have done about 100 miles now. So if I give you a view of the sole, you can start to see they're getting a bit of worn there. But for the most part, they're fine. So what are they like to run in? They are very nice, very, very nice to run in. Why is that? They're really cushioned, so there's no structure to these. They'll easily twist. They've not got the kind of torsion bars you get with an Adidas or a stability shoe, but they are very cushioned. So you run along and your legs feel better at the end of a run than the beginning of a run. And that's kind of what you want, right, from a daily trainer. You've got 8 miles, hey, go out in these. You've got 4, brilliant. Can you pick it up in them? Yes. We did some marathon training a few weeks ago. A friend of mine was doing the sort of 6-minute miling, 3 miles at a time. I think we had 3 sets of it, and he was doing it in these. They're absolutely fine for that. You can pick it up in them. I wouldn't choose them for speed day. I wouldn't choose them for speed work, but they're a very good all-rounder, and they're excellent for just getting in the miles. So when you run in them, you'll feel that squidge. They've got a nice roll through. You can land on them anywhere. Actually, got a lot of cushioning in the heel, so I have noticed when I've been on some pretty stony paths that they've not hurt my feet like others would do, and they've not felt as unstable because they're quite soft. They deform relatively easy compared to other daily trainers, so that's quite nice about them. So when do I use them? It is my daily runs. It is my long runs. I had a 10 miles this morning, did it in these. I had my session the other day, didn't do it in them, did these wear these for the warm-up, then came back, changed my shoes. So they are excellent. But what's the other part that we need to talk about here? It is price. These are RRP £75. You go on the Reebok website, they're always on sale. They're perpetually 60s, 50s. There's always a discount code. You sign up for the newsletter, you're getting 15% off. So what does that mean? Well, when you compare them to a Pegasus, which these are my other daily trainers, so I tend to have 2 pairs on the go at once. At the moment, it's these 2. These I got cheap for 70. These I got cheap for 45. That's quite a difference. And which do I wear when? Depends on how I feel. I don't think that one's better than the other one. I think these are slightly better for faster work, but you wouldn't want to do your fast sessions in these either, really. They're both really good. We're talking about 2 fantastic pairs of shoes, but I'm comparing these like for like. What did these replace? They replaced a pair of Bostons. These were cheap. These were 75. These should be 100. I mean, no one pays list, but these are 120. I think these are 110. Boston 8s before they made them rubbish. So you're talking about fairly spendy shoes. Well, why would you spend that much when you can spend something that is every bit as good? And I struggle to tell you which is better. Which do I prefer of all these? I think this is the Pegasus 36. This is I think the Energy 2. There's a 3 out now, and they were the Boston 8s. I think I'd be picking, for a long run, I'd probably prefer to take the Pegasus. For an easy run, I'd probably prefer to take these, and for a fast session, I'd probably prefer to take these. But that's kind of all up in the air, and the fact that I'm talking about them in the same thing for half the price, generally, it's amazing. So I've got the scales here. So let's give them a little weigh just to kind of really bring it home. So it's a size 10.5 UK. They fit perfectly. No issues at all with the fit. And 283 grams for these. So not going over 300. I think that's quite important. I think over 300, they start to feel heavy. So 283 versus 256 for a pair of Bostons. So slightly heavier, but they don't feel heavy. They are kind of very nice. And 299, so keeping it under 300 for your Pegasus. So they're right in the middle of the other two. Again, I'm classing these in that same category of these are great trainers to wear. When and who should be buying these? I think these are good enough and fun enough and cheap enough that unless you're getting your shoes for free, you should really be considering these as a really viable alternative for your daily trainers. If you've only got one pair of trainers and you just buy one pair at a time, I mean, these are a great pair to buy. They're actually nice to run in. You can do faster stuff. You can go to your park run. They're inexpensive. I mean, that's a very nice thing. If you only have one pair of shoes, you don't take your running that seriously. So spending 60 rather than 100 has to appeal to you, right? Good option for you. If you've got a couple of pairs, maybe you've got a pair of Saucony Speeds that you wear on your race day for your 5K or your 10K. Then you've got another pair that you train in, maybe even two pairs, throw them into the mix. You've probably got something like a A6 Gel or what they call them, Mizuno Wave. I mean, these pair really nicely with any of those. They're just good to have in the mix. So yep, absolutely. You're training more often. You're doing kind of like I'm doing 5, 6, 7 days a week. If you can put in a pair of £50 shoes rather than a pair of £90 shoes, I'm running 2,500, 3,000 miles a year. So I'm going to get through 7, 8 pairs of shoes a year, 9 pairs of shoes a year. It's a lot of pairs of shoes. If you can save on even half of those, it's just your daily trainers. If you can save 20, 30, 40 quid per pair, it's adding up to quite a chunk over the course of a year. So even just having one pair through the course of a year of these rather than these will save you a decent amount. And I think they add something different. I think they're actually legitimate choices. It's not just because they're cheap, it's because they're really soft and squidgy and make your legs feel better at the end. So, well, I think they're worth looking at on their own merit. It's not just about the price. I mean, the only people that probably don't need to consider these are pros. Why is that? Because you're not paying for your shoes. And if price is no object, then does it really matter? Are they better than these? So much so, no, they're just a bit different. And every brand's got their own, whether it's a Saucony Guide or whatever else, they're all good. You're going to struggle to find something that's massively better as a daily trainer, but that's the point, right? Is these are excellent as a daily trainer. It's hard to get excited about daily shoes because you're just doing them for the grind, right? And that's why there's so many reviews of the Vaporfly and so few of your kind of Pegasus 38. Both Nike, but one's really sexy. These aren't the sexiest shoes and the colours can be really drab for some of them. These ones are quite nice, but they're worth it. They're worth being excited about because they're really good. They will make you enjoy your daily miles. I really suggest you check them out. So smash them like buttons, hit subscribe, and if you're interested, I'll keep on doing some more of these.